Hi, Misha here, and it's your weekly Blackbox. At least I'm trying to do about one of these a week. And I didn't plug in the mic tonight. Part of it is I'm just tired, didn't feel like getting it out. And part of it is it's storming, so I thought I would get the ambiance of the thunder and rain. I have the new Sennheiser wireless mic, which we've used on a couple of Mishaco videos now, and I've used on a couple of these videos. It does work with this old camera. I use my old kind of family camcorder camera for these black boxes, but I picked up a new wired lav mic, lapel mic. It's a pretty, good high quality brand. And it works fine, either through my computer, desktop, or laptop. And also, it works fine with the GoPro. But for whatever reason, it doesn't work at all with this old camera, which is a little bit of a bummer, but not a big deal. I might start using the GoPro to record these, but we will see. So, let's talk about technology, because I've had a wonderful week of technology. Last Friday, J-Ro, who you've met now in a couple of the Mishaco channel videos, including the Q&A 18, which we just published. We did two versions, an extended version for Patreon members. It's just under 2 hours. And a standard version for YouTube, which is about an hour and a quarter. He picked me up a wireless mic at the local camera store, which is a very reputable kind of medium to high-end camera store. We're not talking Best Buy, we're talking, better than that. We're people who might do like wedding photography. Anyway, he picked me up a lapel mic there, brought it over, and it was totally dead. Completely busted, right out of the box, brand new, defective. Tried it on the laptop, the desktop, the GoPro, this camera, even independent MP3 audio recorder. Nada. Not even nothing. Just complete. So I had to send that back. Yay, my luck. Also, last time I told you about my AT&T thing, about how they declared that my old rugby phone was not 4G enough. Okay, no problem. So on Monday, my wife ordered a new phone. And they have two kind of rugged or tough flip phones. One for $189 and one for $269. And I don't remember the names now. The 189 starts with an S. The 269 starts with a K. Whatever, I'll call them S and K. I looked at the specs, and it seemed like the one for $189 was fine. So I just ordered that, saved a little money. Ordered it Monday, it came Tuesday. Awesome sauce. Got it in, couldn't figure out how to quite get it work, so my wife took it to the closest AT&T store. The guy at the store, who was unfortunately working alone, pulled the SIM card out of my rugby and just told her, well, it'll work now, but in a year or so need a new SIM card. I wish I was there, because I would have reminded him that card actually predated the rugby, meaning that it was 9 or 10 years old, perhaps as much as 12 years old. In other words, I need a new SIM card. Either way, she brings the phone home. I make a couple of phone calls. It works. But then it dies, saying no SIM card detected. And so we think the problem is the old SIM card, because when we went to take it out and try to put it back in the old rugby, it was basically falling apart. No problemo. So she took the new phone to another AT&T store, a bigger one in town, and they mess with it for a bit, and guess what? They say it's defective. That the SIM card reader in it, no worko. Which is really funny, because those phones actually have two SIM card readers in them for international use type stuff. Now, I don't know if the phone was just defective, which would be kind of funny for a flip dumb phone to be defective, considering the technology, or if somehow having that old crumbling SIM card from the rugby in it screwed something up. That's kind of the theory I'm operating under. But either way, it's not working. They said we have to send it back. And of course, neither of the phones, the S or the Ks, are carried in any local stores anywhere. They only do, smartphones. So we'll have to send it back to AT&T and then get another one. But I think this time I'm going to go with the K. Even though it's a little bit more money, I've done a little bit more research because I had time. And one reason that I was really wanting to get the cheaper one, it seemed like it had longer talk time, longer battery life. But that is a little deceptive. Two things I discovered. One, there was a typo in the spec sheets that was just ludicrous. Instead of dividing minutes by 60 to get hours, someone multiplied by 60, making it look like it had like 20,000 hours of of talk time or something ludicrous like that. For another, the more expensive phone actually has an economy mode or eco mode, which further saves on power. It also has slightly smaller dimensions, like 0.1 inches in every direction. So you're only saving a cubic inch or two, but it's a little bit smaller. I wasn't super happy with the S phone anyway. It was just so kind of big and clunky, and it wasn't rubber coated like my old phones. I had the Motorola, then I had the Rugby, and they were rubber coated, which is nice because water just runs right off the rubber, and if you drop it, it just kind of bounces. Also, if your hands are wet, it's less likely to slip. This one was just a plastic casing. Was it durable feeling? Sure. But, yeah. Whereas this other one, the K phone, it has more, not full rubber case, but at least it has kind of a rubber border on it. So, I think I'll go with that. They also say it has a little bit clearer sound as far as hearing voices. I don't know. Try to go cheap, and that's what happens. But hopefully when we get the one sent back and get the other one reordered, it'll work. It did mean that, like, Thursday through part of Friday, I had no phone whatsoever. And kind of made me happy that I don't do everything through a phone, one-size-fits-all device. That I actually do, a lot through my computer, desktop or laptop. And then I use my phone pretty much just for, a phone. So even though the phone was not operable, it didn't completely shut me down. Whereas if I used my phone for everything, it would have kind of jacked me up pretty good. So that happened. I'm not the only one who does flip phones too. If anything, it actually seems like there are a few more flip phones in the market in 2021 than there were in, say, 2017, 2018. There are enough people now that have kind of realized for their specific situations that a flip phone, a dumb phone that basically just makes phone calls, maybe takes basic video or pictures, and has a basic calculator on board, is what they need. Of course, people like me with disabilities, different types, also elderly. But then you get into like professionals, like people working, say, construction or painting, or maybe even just driving a truck all day, or maybe just outdoors all day where they're going to be in heat and cold. And of course, you get police, and more importantly, first responders, EMTs, firefighters, and at the end of the day, of course, also military. Can the phone get online? Yeah, they can, but that's not really their primary purpose. They like that a flip phone is durable and simple, and normally reliable, unless you're me. Also, that you have tactile buttons that can be used easily with gloves. That's actually a problem in Russia with a lot of touchscreen in the cold. in the winter, even if you don't have gloves on, sometimes those screens aren't sensitive enough to feel fingers on them when it's bloody cold. Or, if you're outdoors, you don't want to take your gloves off. So there are reasons to still want a keypad. Another thing, too, flip phones have a really long battery life. Yeah, looking at them, it seems like they're anywhere from 6 to 10 hours talk time and well over 200, 300, 400 hours standby time. And you don't get that from a smartphone. Yeah, it's a special purpose thing, but I've always felt that the right tool for the job, kind of get the tool that fits your job. And yeah, so that's kind of my little adventure so far with technology. Hasn't been a great week for that. In fact, it really wasn't a great week in general, but c'est la vie, Sometimes that's just how life goes. In the gun world, things have definitely way slowed down, as I kind of estimated they would around July or August. After the nearly year-and-a-half long buying spree, it was bound to stop sooner or later. But I am surprised with the rapidity that it ended. It just stopped. Now my Swiss SIGs, they're still selling, and a few other odds and ends magazines are still doing pretty good, but say AKs, they've really dropped off. I don't really have any ARs for sale because I didn't want to get caught flat-footed with a bunch of ARs here, but I've heard from other dealer friends that, the AR market's really died, as have a lot of pistols. I still think there's some demand for, say, Glocks, but a lot of the other pistols have really diminished in desirability. One type of gun that is getting more popular, which this time last year no one wanted, are the old CNR guns, be they old brown bolt actions or pistols. I sold the K98 this past week, as well as a Beretta 1934 pistol, and both brought decent, respectable money. And I sold a couple of other CNR guns besides. So it seems like, when people kind of quit focusing on the new modern sporting rifles and Massars or evil black rifles, if you prefer EBRs, they kind of move back to the old classics. Ammo is it's on its way to recovery. You can at least find 7.62x39, even 9mm in stock. 223, still a little bit hard to get, but not impossible like it was some months ago. Prices are dropping pretty good on a lot of cartridges. 9mm and 223 are still a little high, but they are starting to come down. Other cartridges are really starting to come down. So on the ammo front, I would say just stand by and wait. Give it another little bit. Remington UMC's back producing, which is good. Other makers are either producing or, in the case of importers, importing. So we're starting to see that. So it could shape up to be a pretty good late summer, early fall in the gun market. I also expect to see a lot of lightly used guns hit the market. Guns that people bought during the panic. Remember, they bought 2 or 3 of the same gun, then they decide that they need, to pay for their kids back to school, or their wife wants to go on vacation, or maybe they just have a good old classic credit card bill that needs paying. So I think there is going to be some pretty respectable, pretty good buys to be had if you have cash in hand coming up soon. Just a thought. Not saying I'm right, but that's kind of how these things tend to go. Import stuff, not a whole lot. JDI has, I think, 10 5.53s that they're going to be importing. Again, government permitting later this year, probably around November. There is talk about 5.51s, but that is far from a sure thing yet. In fact, there hasn't even been approval from the ATF, so who's to say what exactly will happen with the 551s, and even if it happens, it probably won't be anything that happens this year. You're probably looking at 2022 for any of those. When I can say more, I will. One thing I can say, and again, I don't know how much I'm supposed to talk about, but the second half of the HD18 batch, remember 50, I think 51 actually came in, including a sample. And then they were supposed to ship 50 more from Hungary. Well, they didn't quite fill the complete order, and there was one perturbing surprise in it, but I won't say anything more till I know it's something that can be talked about. But that FEG defense is, yeah, they're not looking like a real pro outfit, if you know what I mean. On the other hand, we did a review over the 4th of July for the Zastava PAP M90 PS, the 223 AK type, M70 type. It worked really well for us. I know a few people have reported some issues, a lot having to do with the adjustable gas block. Some report excessive mag wobble, a few things like that. But this is the first generation. But the one we shot worked really, really well, and probably be one that we take back out again soon. And yeah, I don't really have any guns coming in, at least new guns that I'm really looking forward to. It's kind of slow right now, again with the market falling off. I did get a batch of Benellis in from Italy, some Nova Tacticals, Supernova Law Enforcement Editions, M2 Tacticals, and M4 Tacticals even. So that's good. It's nice to have some Italian shotguns. Now that Remington aren't really in the picture and Mossbergs are hard to get, at least it gives, something to pick up. But all in all, it's kind of a quiet week. I have ordered quite a few models for this channel to do videos on. Well, I ordered them because I wanted them, but I'll do some videos there. There are some new De Agostini 172 scale diecast. In the aircraft, I picked up 2 or 3 Italian World War II fighters. But in the helicopters, which we haven't seen too many of those, there are some pretty neat ones like the British Belvedere, the US Sea Dragon, and the Russian Ka-50. Neat stuff. The De Agostini is kind of carrying on the tradition set by Atlas, Altea, IXO. Very affordable little models for what they are, and they're not perfect, but you do get gear up or down, spinning propellers, and they do have mostly metal bodies. So they're kind of a neat little series to pick up just to fill spots in a collection, and at between $20 and $35 depending on which model exactly. You can pick them up without breaking the bank. So yeah, cool enough. There's another series that seems to be kind of picking up that brand, and that's, I think, called Motors. Motor City, something like that. That tooling has been passed around quite a bit. I already posted a couple of Hobbymaster models of the Sukhoi Su-57 and the new Prowler, the EA-6B that Hobbymaster just released. And those are kind of neat. Got a couple more to show you. Really looking forward to the Hobbymaster U2. That's out, so should be able to give a video on that pretty soon. It'll be kind of fun to compare it to the Century Wings SR-71 Blackbird, since Century Wings and Hobbymaster are kind of related. Not a whole lot new from Corgi, though. Again, it's nice to see some new guns come in, some new models. I also ordered some stuff from Eagle Moss, I ordered the 2 latest Battlestar Galacticas. There's the Loki support cruiser, and then there's the Osiris Pocket Battlestar, but that won't be in for a couple of months. And ordered a couple of new Star Trek models, but I'm not sure when all that will be shipping. But at least stuff's starting to post after quite a long absence throughout 2020. So yeah, this is more of just an update video, just talking about what's going on. No real topic this go round. I'll save that for the next Blackbox. I have a couple of things I've been kind of mulling over in my head. But yeah, hope everyone's had a pretty decent week. We've been lucky on the weather here. Like I said, it's kind of raining, storming right now, but the temperatures kept in the highs in the 70s and 80s here. We haven't hardly broke 90, much less 100. So, the humidity is a bit high, but on the flip side, at least the temperature is not high to go along with it. And just trying to get through summer, guys. And I don't know. I guess I'm feeling a little bit tired. I'm not depressed, not down, not sad, just kind of tired and low energy, if you know what I mean. But it's been a pretty active first half of the year, and I think I just need to recharge my batteries a bit, and then I'll be back up, probably by the time fall happens. But working on some new plans for the main Mishaco channel, and trying to have some model content for this one here too. So, love to hear what you're up to, any future plans. If you've gone on vacation or are planning to, love to hear about where you're going or where you've been in the comments. Or just, anything else. Have you picked up a new gun? Have you picked up a new model? Picked up a new cat or dog? Whatever. So with that, I believe I will let you go for tonight. This is Misha, and I will catch you very soon next time.